Welcome in. I'm going to do a little checkup on you guys who are in the program, in the mentorship, and I just did one today with with a student with Jay, and I've been thinking about this a lot, and I think at a certain point it's good for me to be able to see exactly what you're doing, of course, and so you're basically in the course, and I'm going to share this with you guys so you can see this. If you're in the course, let's see here, yeah, there you go. If you're in the course, you are in this time to turn on the ETD section. You've gone through quite a bit of stuff about grand piano from the bench and looking at it in theory and tension and all these things. Then when you get down here to tuning posture, this is important. This is kind of where I want to do a checkup, but you can wait until you get into this learn single string tuning, okay? And grand hammer technique explained, and front string tension explained, and hammer techniques and single string tuning. Those are the lessons where you're going to go through those, and then somewhere in there you're going to be practicing stopping the lights, and you see this little evaluation. That's probably about where you need to be sending me a video or asking me questions. In fact, you can ask me questions before that, but that's part of the course. So you've turned on the ETD and you're learning all this stuff about actual tuning tuning hammer technique. Now there's a lot in this, and this is just an overview of kind of how I would want to see you tuning a single string on the piano over and over again, just to show me how you're using your tuning hammer. Because everything matters, as you've noticed in the stuff that we're doing. It matters if it's at 12 o'clock. It matters, if you're on YouTube and you see people tuning in an upright and they're tuning way up here. We talk about this even in the boot camp for very beginners, okay? But if you're starting to tune and you need to be able to do a few things, and watching you guys, I'm going to be able to give you individual feedback. So definitely when you get to this part, you can pop into a Zoom meeting with me, or better, maybe just send me a video. Unless you're really struggling. If you're really struggling, you just pop in, message me, ask me to do a Zoom, and we'll talk about it. But you're using on a grand piano. We're going to talk about grand pianos first, and this will translate to uprights, a lot of it. When you are going to do your first pull, when you're going to pull your first, you're going to yank it over pitch. Okay. You want to yank it up enough over pitch to where it's not just barely over. So some people are doing too far over, like, it's not really moving that far, but it sounds like it is, because it's like, it's way up there. Okay. That's too much. And then when they're pushing back down, they're going, meow, meow. See, that's just way too much. Okay. So that's obviously too much, but what is enough? And I think that Jay asked me that today. I was like 5 cents, 6 cents. You don't need to go 10 cents, but it's more of a feel. So it's going to be when you do that first yank over, it's like you hear the note like doo, doo, doo. You hear it just a little bit. It goes up, okay, and you kind of yank on it until you can feel the pen sort of move. Okay, so you're going to yank on it and you're going to feel the pen move. You don't want to go slow, like pull it up. You don't want it to go, you're not doing that. You're actually going to yank on it like that. And then you're going to start with your body. You're going to start pushing down, okay, pushing back down on the hammer. So you're pushing straight, okay? Your hammer's at 3 o'clock on the grand. You're pushing straight that way, okay? You can use some of your body. We talked about using your body. And even in the boot camp, I talk about moving on the upright, moving and using your body. So you're not just using your arm like it's just flopping around over there. You can use the weight of your body. So you yank up maybe 5 cents, and then you want to see how many times you can notch it down, how many small notches you can do before you get it in tune, okay? Before it gets to tune, or you overshoot it, which you're going to overshoot it a lot in the beginning, okay? So let's see who's in here. Hey, Joe. Hey, what's up? What's up, guys? Yeah, so this is, I'm welcoming you guys into the live stream. You're going to feel a little yank, and then I want you to practice in this early stage how to barely notch it down. And every time you hit the note, every time you move the hammer, you should hit the note. So it should not be like yank and then goes It can't be like, nee, 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 nee. You're not doing that. Okay. It should be go like this. Yeet. Okay. And then it should go ding, 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 ding. Like every time you move this pressure on this hammer, you're hitting the string. Okay. So told one of my buddies that I trained here in Nashville 8 times. And he took it fairly literally. So he's like, okay, I got to hit it 8 times. And that's not literally 8 times, but it's not 2, it could be 3, it could be 5, it could be 8, it could be 10. You could do it all the way down and overshoot it and have to pull it back. But the point is it's not just 2 big things. It's not, oh, there it is. That's not how you do it. You cannot place it into tune by sliding it down. Okay. You're going to be nudging it down, slow pressure, straight across the plane of the grand piano. See? And so I'm going to get you a little, we talk about front string tension. We talk about like equalizing that front string tension. And so Jay asked me a question today. He said, well, every time I get I get it all the way down and and he's moving, his technique isn't quite there. So he's moving a little too slow. So a little too much movement on each hit. So we talked about that, but then he gets it to where he thinks it's in tune. And then when he goes to push on the hammer or to push down on it to kind of tweak that and equalize that front string tension that we've talked about, he said it goes like 2 or 3 cents flat. Okay, so what I was explaining to him today and what I want you guys to really think about is when you're on that, you're pushing straight across. So you're not pushing down or doing any weird stuff, but you are pushing straight across and you're nudging. But then ever so slightly, I am actually nudging straight, and then I'm also pushing down like this on the hammer sometimes. Okay, so it's a mix of pushing straight, which is really the best way to go to move the pin, but I'm also pushing down a little bit as I'm going. So I may use a little down pressure, because what that does to the pin, I mean, it's going to move the pin. You're moving the pin like this, back and forth, straight. And if you put down pressure, you are bending the pin, and you're not really bending the pin. You're not really technically going to technically bend the pin. The pin is really hard. You're not going to bend it, but you're kind of flexing the pin. So the pin is moving like this, back and forth. You're pulling on it, you're pushing on it, and you're using it in that plane where it's perfectly going this way. Right now, what if somebody pulled on my head that way as they were turning me? I might lean this way a little bit and then steady back up. So this is really how we're setting front string tension, and I've never taught it like this even in the course. So this is going to be good for you guys to understand this as I'm moving straight on my chair. I have a swivel chair, so I'm swiveling to the right and to the left, but I'm not bending, but if somebody put pressure on my head as I was turning, I would bend a little bit, right? I'd probably steady back up when they let me go. But the point is, if you pull the pin down and bend it and you think, oh, I got it in tune, and you're holding it, what happens as soon as you let go of the pin? It's going to go back to normal, and it's going to go a little bit sharper. And so you have a pin there. This is great. That's why I love live streams, because I'm going to make up some funny stuff to teach you guys. But you are moving the pen this way, back and forth, left and right. And you can see that you're pushing and pulling. And I'm telling Jay today, use your body, use your body, push, pull. Don't be afraid to use your body to push and pull. But when you want to settle that pin, it's at, say, 2 o'clock, your tuning hammer is now at 2 o'clock away from you. If you push down a little bit, you notice that the pin is actually going to bend a little bit or flex. That's going to relieve some tension in the front string, and maybe you've got it perfectly right. So that is really key. It's push and it's tweak. All of this working together. Okay. I'm moving this way, the pin back and forth. I'm moving the pin in the pin block. I can feel it moving. I can nudge it. And when I want to, I can bend it a little bit and it's going to do something. All right. So what I did notice from John here in Nashville, and also from talking to Jay, is I think what you guys are doing is on that first push and pull motion, you're pushing it down into tune and you're getting it in tune. Okay. Now, you haven't addressed the front string tension yet. So you haven't done any of the, bending or tweaking of the pin at all. You haven't done any of the settling. You've just moved the pin to the left. You yank it up and then you're like nudging it, nudging it, nudging it, nudging it, nudging it. And right about when I got it in tune, they got the lights to stop. There's still built up tension in the front string. And so then they've got the lights stopped, but they're really not done tuning. If they tweak the pin a little bit and equalize the front string tension, now it's flat. Okay, so now like, oh crap, I overshot it. You got to pull it back up. So here's the trick that I talked to Jay about today. Here's the nuance that I want you guys to do when you send me your videos. Work on this. You are pulling the pin up, bump, you've got it up. It's now you're nudging it down. You're hitting the string every time, bang, 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 right about when you get the feel that you're almost there. Then you start the down pressure. So you bend the pressure down. The pin's going to go, it's going to kind of settle into place before it's in tune. So the lights on your tuner are going like fast, okay? They're sharp, and then they start to slow down, and they slow down. And it's like, oh, it's almost there. It's almost there. And then you tweak it, and it's like, oh, it stops. There it stops. The light stopped. Then you can take your hammer off. You've already tweaked it. And I'm not saying, back in the day before I really started talking about front string tension, I was, everybody's like, you can't bend the pin. And you're really not bending the pin. You don't want to spend a lot of time, bending the pin, bending on it, move. You're just manipulating the pin in a way that it can be bent. But when you do notice that putting down pressure on your hammer at that last moment can settle the pin in, you're really not bending the pin as much as you are equalizing the front string tension. So that lesson is explained. It's about the third lesson after you turn on your ETD. I'm explaining this. And then in this video here, I'm giving you like a more nuanced version of this, because I'm noticing if you're just pushing or if you're sliding the pin around, you're not going to get it to stop. What your goal is to be able to be a fast tuner, to be able to be a good, solid, fast tuner, your goal is to get that front string tension equalized, get that pin stopped, and get the lights to stop, Then you give it a test blow, like 1 or 2 hard blows, and it's like, if it doesn't move, it's set, it's equalized. If you don't get it to that point, and then you hit it hard twice, it goes flat. So for example, if you come to the piano and you just kind of tweak it up and you do everything right, and then you go, and you kind of push it down and you're like, oh, I got it in tune, and you stop. And that's all you do. Then all you have to do to make it go flat is hit the note 2 times hard. Boom. It equalizes itself, and then it's flat. So you want to start stopping right before it's in tune, right before the lights are going to stop rolling. You'll get the feel for this right before it stops rolling. Then you're going to tweak the pin, and then the lights stop, and then you can give a couple hard blows. It's all nuanced and feel. This is all feel. So in this part of the program, for you guys in the mentorship, this is where I'd like you to send me a video of you tuning. It'd be easier just to tune 3 or 4 notes, show it to me. If you feel like, man, I'm really struggling and I got questions, go into the chat and up in the bolster chat and ask for a Zoom meet, and we'll just jump on a 15-minute Zoom meet, and I'll watch you do it, and I'll give you some tips. It's exciting. It's an exciting moment. This is about stability and about being able to do fast. Now, if you are once you get into tuning, every student they'll be like, well, I tuned a piano, but it took me 4 hours. Okay, 4 hours. That's too long. That your milestone is getting down to like 90 minutes, and that's when you feel like you can do it and get paid to do it. But you have to shorten that time. The only way to shorten that time is to shorten every single one of these pens, the confidence to set those pens. That's why I can tune a piano in 45, 55 minutes, because I'm very confidently setting those pens. I'm not thinking through 15-minute, I'm not redoing it. I'm not sitting there listening over and over again, trying to figure out when it's set. That's how you're going to speed it up. So guys, if you have any questions, drop them in the comments in the course here. Around this time, be sending me some feedback so I can give you the thumbs up, or I can just correct something. What I don't want you to do is spend the next, months, 2 months, 3 months, and then me look at you and go, well, why are you doing that with your hand? You got to move your hand this way and that way. It'll save you a lot of time. So just take some time, shoot me a video. You can text me a video on your iPhone. You can upload a video to the Bolster, to YouTube, and then tag me. Different ways to do it. Hey, it's 2025 right now, so sharing a video should be pretty easy. I'd love to just text me a video, like a minute video of show me your technique on upright and in grand. Now, we didn't talk about upright in this video, but it's the same thing. You want to nudge down, and when you get to the nudge point on the upright, that's when you pull towards you a little bit. You're pushing down and pulling towards you. That's the motion. So I don't want to overwhelm you guys at this early stage, but it's just a little bit of the same thing. You'll see me doing it. I'm pushing down on the hammer on the upright. I'm pushing this way, and when I get almost right, almost in tune, I pull back to myself a little bit. That's the tweak. That's why posture matters, and where your tuning hammer is matters. If you're at the wrong angle, then you can't really pull. You've got to be at like 12 or 11 o'clock, and then you pull back towards yourself. That's me looking straight at the upright piano. All right, let's do this, and I'm hoping that you guys